What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And a Qatari sheikh has tweeted that Paris Saint-Germain are now considering the sale of Kylian Mbappe as he hasn't signed a new contract with the club. And he also said, and this guy is very well connected to Paris Saint-Germain, probably relative of the owner or somebody in the royal family. He said that one English club has made an offer in the last few weeks for Kylian Mbappe. So in this video we will talk in detail about that. If you are excited about this, that Liverpool could be potentially in line to sign Kylian Mbappe, then leave a like. I'm super excited about this news, and also subscribe if you are new around here. And I want to say a huge thank you to OneFootball for sponsoring my channel for this month. OneFootball is the home of football, my favorite app. I've been using it for years. You can find all kinds of football news on there, and also you can find the stats, the latest transfer news. I have been going there almost every day checking the Liverpool transfer news because they combine the best and most interesting transfer news and football news. And you can find also interesting videos, stats, analysis, fantasy football tips, and all kinds of interesting football related content on the OneFootball apps, and it's completely free. So what are you waiting for? Make sure to download OneFootball using the link in the video's description, and you support the channel as well that way. And he also referenced MRMC Sport, this Qatari source, and he said that Real Madrid are yet to make an offer for Kylian Mbappe. So Mbappe, I think his two dream moves are Real Madrid or Liverpool, and he said one English club has in the last few weeks made an offer for Mbappe, and I think that is very encouraging. But he also tweeted that Real Madrid are prepared to offer 180 million euros for Mbappe. I just don't understand how they would come up with that money. That could be a huge loan taken out by Real Madrid for the next like 10 or 20 years. Otherwise I cannot see how they can afford it. Mbappe is for sale because he still hasn't signed a new contract. He only has 1 year, less than 1 year on his contract, and Paris Saint-Germain probably don't want to lose Mbappe for absolutely nothing next summer. Can you imagine one of the best players in the world, especially after Ronaldo and Messi retires? Mbappe could be, alongside Haaland, the best player in the world, and I think he has huge market potential as well. Shirt sales, marketing, everything that you can think of. Mbappe probably would generate a lot of his transfer fee back in all kinds of marketing revenue, not just shirt sales but all kinds of merchandise sales for Liverpool as well. And also because Mbappe is a Nike ambassador, Liverpool could use that as a way to make this transfer happen. Nike could subsidize some of the transfer fees, some of his wages. Unless Liverpool can come up with a huge amount of money, it's going to be very difficult to sign Mbappe right now. But the reason why Paris Saint-Germain want to sell him is that they don't want to look like absolute fools losing one of the best players in the world on a free transfer. Remember Barcelona, they did that with Messi, and look at them. I mean, they are a lot weaker without Messi, obviously. And Paris Saint-Germain, of course, they have almost unlimited amounts of money, but still the prestige loss, the PR, the bad PR because of losing Mbappe, one of the crown jewels of French football, one of the crown jewels of Paris Saint-Germain, on a free transfer. To lose him when he's still a young player would be devastating, not just money-wise but also, as I said, PR-wise. So they probably are resigned to selling Mbappe to the highest bidder, and right now that could be Real Madrid, but it also could be Liverpool. This Qatari source also said that two conditions must be met for Mbappe to join either Real Madrid or Liverpool. Real Madrid need to make their offer, and he said that they are going to do so. One English side already made an offer for Paris Saint-Germain star Mbappe, and also Paris Saint-Germain needs to accept the offer, which is possible given that Paris Saint-Germain is now seriously considering selling Mbappe because he still hasn't signed a new contract. So PSG are open to selling him. And Jurgen Klopp actually talked about Paris Saint-Germain. He said that he suggested that Paris Saint-Germain's incredible financial power leverage won't necessarily guarantee domination for such teams. I mean, Liverpool managed to win the Premier League title ahead of Man City when Man City's net spend were 3 times, 4 times, 5 times as much as Liverpool's net spend in the past 5 years. And this is what Jurgen Klopp said. Paris Saint-Germain played a 4-2 result against Brest. And if you say the names of PSG and the names on Brest's team, you would expect the scoreline to be 8-2, but it was 4-2. So you would expect it to be 8-0 to be precise. That's what Klopp said, not 8-2. Sorry about that. So it was 4-2 only. The nice thing about football is that nobody knows beforehand who will win. Some have better chances, some have worse, but everyone has a chance. That's what I think is great about football. And Jurgen Klopp said this time and time again, that he doesn't want the Liverpool to have the most expensive team. He just wants a team who has a chance of beating even the most expensive teams in the world in a one-off game. And that's the beauty of Jurgen Klopp and football, that with good coaching and with good tactics, anybody really can beat these big teams if you are managed properly, and also if you have good tactics and high energy players. And also there was a comparison which I found pretty nonsensical, that Gary Neville made the comparison between Jurgen Klopp and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They are not even in the same conversation, honestly. In the first 99 games, they have a similar record, a similar win percentage. Jurgen Klopp has 54%, Solskjaer has 53%. But how can you make the comparison when Solskjaer's net spend in his first 3 years with Man United is 314 million pounds, and Jurgen Klopp's net spend was a 30 million pound profit? So he sold players for more money than what he bought players for, and Solskjaer spent 314 million. So in total, that's a difference of 350 million, and they have an identical record, which shows that Solskjaer is a much worse manager than Jurgen Klopp. And he said that probably with Man United's squad, Jurgen Klopp could win the title. That's debatable, but what is certain is that with Solskjaer, I don't think Man United have a chance of winning a title, because he's just not good enough. And let's steer the conversation back to Mbappe. I think Liverpool have a chance if Jurgen Klopp personally talks with Mbappe, and there is many newspaper articles about Mbappe and Mbappe's family having a personal, very close relationship with Jurgen Klopp, and also the Liverpool owners have flown Mbappe and his family on their private jet, and they had conversations about Mbappe's future. So Liverpool are definitely in the conversation to sign Mbappe. It's just whether Liverpool right now can financially afford signing Mbappe, and that's very hard to see, because in the pandemic, in the past 2 seasons, Liverpool lost 154 million pounds in revenue, which means that is missing from Liverpool's budget. Yes, we still earned a lot of money, but because of our wage bill, we probably are not able to afford Mbappe. It just depends on what Paris Saint-Germain are asking, and if they are asking for 100 million for Mbappe or 80 million, Real Madrid will probably pay that, and Liverpool, I can't see Liverpool paying that. But we can dream, and I just wanted to make this video to let you guys know that Liverpool are in the conversation. And Ian Doyle, who is a chief Liverpool writer in the Liverpool Echo, has published an article detailing Liverpool's current situation in the transfer market. He said Liverpool are well stocked for options with the goalkeepers, all 3 goalkeepers having signed new contracts this summer, and the defense is pretty okay as well. We spent 36 million pounds on Konate, and of course the return of Van Dijk, Gomez and Matip. Liverpool look very strong. Of course Liverpool would want to keep hold of Nat Phillips, but they won't stand in his way if he wants to leave, and if a good offer, a suitable offer comes in for him. Tsimikas has shown that he is a good enough backup for Andy Robertson, and Trent Alexander-Arnold, this first choice right back, and Neco Williams may be allowed to leave if a club bids 10 million for him, but those interests have faded. The big question is the midfield and the forward line. Any last minute arrival in midfield would be one with potential for further growth, such as Ajax's Ryan Gravenberch, However, the engine room is probably the remodeling of the engine room, the Liverpool's midfield. It will happen probably next summer as well. Now that Shaqiri left to Lyon, it has been confirmed yesterday by Liverpool that the transfer is official. Liverpool are left with Takumi Minamino and Divock Origi as the other alternatives, even though Harvey Elliott can play on the right flank. Kyle Gordon will be given opportunities probably in the League Cup and maybe in the FA Cup as well. But if either Minamino or Origi exits and leaves Liverpool, there could be room for a fresh face, with the likes of Jared Bowen and Ismail Assar having been on the watch list. Jurgen Klopp believes that the players already at Liverpool can challenge for the Premier League, can challenge for the Champions League until January at the very least. But I think the big question is injuries, and also having Mane, Salah and Firmino. They all will be 30 years old this season. Will they start slowing down? It's a big question. I really hope not. But I still would want Liverpool to sign a forward player. And this is what Jurgen Klopp himself said on Liverpool's potential transfer activity. There is so much focus and transfers and recruitment in football, and particularly in the Premier League. It might not always seem so when I speak to the media, but I do understand it. I'm a football fan as well, and guilty of being attracted to a story about which team might sign which players. The difference is I don't have that itch when it comes to us, Liverpool. I don't for 1 second criticize anyone, be it fan, pundit, journalist or players and coaches, for getting drawn into the allure of transfers. But as the manager of this Liverpool team and the leader of this football club, I must always view these things with the proper perspective. We have exceptional players and we have long-term commitments for the majority of them. We have recruited smartly both in the season and last. We have an elite environment and a home ground with an atmosphere that is the envy of most other clubs. We have so much to be optimistic about, to be joyful about. Does that guarantee success? Of course not. This is football, and specifically the Premier League, the most competitive league in the world. Other teams are strong and they always have been. Winning in England is so hard and it always has been. It's why our club's history is so special. I think he's saying that right now he's happy with the squad, but probably if there is a good opportunity in the transfer market, if a player like Ismail Assar or Jared Bowen becomes available for like 30 million. Right now it's very hard to see that way, because Watford's probably best player is Ismail Assar, and Jared Bowen is very integral to West Ham's hopes of getting European football again. And also West Ham doesn't have great strength in depth, so them selling Jared Bowen, I just can't see it. And also I don't think he's good enough for Liverpool right now. He started the season pretty well, but he hasn't scored or assisted so far in the Premier League this season, and last season he only got like 9 goals, I think, which is not bad for a team like West Ham, but I don't think it's worth what West Ham is asking for. And to be honest, he's worth a lot more for West Ham because he's a regular starting player for Liverpool. Jamie Carragher also called for Liverpool signing an attacker, a striker, because he's a little bit worried about Firmino. He said, the thing for Liverpool is challenging isn't enough. Once you have won the league title for the first time, a challenge is not enough. You have to win the league title again. I think Liverpool's squad can challenge with what they have right now. I think the big thing with Liverpool players, certain players attacking wise, for example Sadio Mane last year or Firmino, more Mane, how much did the fans not being there affect them? I think Mane feeds off the crowd. I must say I'm worried about Firmino ever getting back to what he was. I still want a striker to come into Liverpool. I know Firmino is not a striker, a proper striker, they don't play with one, but Liverpool don't have a centre forward on their books. Divock Origi plays from the left wing, so they don't have anyone, so that's where I would like to see Liverpool invest. If they did, I think they would be there or thereabout regarding the title race. I don't think Liverpool will win the league with what they have. I would like to see one more signing come in, and I don't agree with Jamie Carragher in that Liverpool have to sign a striker in order to win the Premier League, because I think we can win the Premier League without signing a striker if most of our players stay fit. But that's the problem, you don't know what kind of injuries will happen during the season, and Liverpool are just leaving themselves a little bit too short without another striker or attacking signing. because what if Salah or Mane gets a long-term injury, let's say 3 months, then we will rely on Firmino and Jota, and especially because if for example if Jota gets injured for 3 months and Salah and Mane goes off to Africa Cup of Nations, then we are left with Firmino, Minamino, Origi and Harvey Elliott as our forward players. And will those players have enough in them to score goals in that period, that 1 month period when Mane and Salah are at the Africa Cup of Nations tournament, that Liverpool will win those games? Because losing 2 or 3 games in that period, in that January period, which always has been one of the toughest periods for Liverpool, especially in recent seasons, would be enough to lose the title race, in my opinion. So that's why I think signing a forward player would be an insurance policy for Liverpool, and also it would help ease the pressure on Liverpool finding replacements for Salah and Mane in maybe the next summer transfer window, which will be very, very tough to do without spending incredible amounts of money. And John Barnes also said that Alisson could become the greatest goalkeeper in Liverpool's history. He said, "I would definitely say Alisson can be up there with Ray Clemence and Bruce Grobbelaar as Liverpool's best ever goalkeeper. However, if he leaves Liverpool next year, then things would be different. At the end of the day, you judge people in terms of the legacy and what they leave behind and the impact they have had on the team at the end of their careers. Alisson has only been with Liverpool for 2.5 years and he has done fantastically well. So if he stays and continues to play as well as he has so far, then I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes Liverpool's best ever goalkeeper. But yes, he needs to stay at Liverpool for another at least 2 or 3 seasons, maybe even more. So let me know what do you think about all the topics that we talked about in this video, and thanks for watching guys, hope you enjoyed this. See you later, good night.